You know what made me laugh the other day? I saw two people arguing in the supermarket over bananas. Not the last loaf of bread, not a parking space, bananas. One person said, "These are too green." The other said, "That's the whole point." Meanwhile, an older gentleman standing nearby picked up a bunch, smiled, and quietly said, "Give them a few days. They'll figure themselves out." Everybody laughed. He paid for his bananas and walked away like he'd just dropped the wisdom of the century, and I thought, that's interesting. Some people get older and become calmer, funnier, lighter. They somehow make everyone around them feel good. Then there are others who seem to carry the weight of the whole world on their shoulders. Same age, different energy. So what happened? It probably wasn't their birthday. It wasn't because one found a secret anti-aging cream hidden in someone's garage. If that cream existed, we'd all know about it by now. No. The biggest difference is often something much simpler. It's the habits they carry every single day. Some habits quietly make you feel younger. Others slowly steal your joy without making a sound. And here's the funny part. Most of us don't even realize we're doing them. That's why today we're talking about 5 habits to let go of after 60 if you want to stay mentally young, emotionally light, and full of life. Now, before anyone says, "So, should I start jogging 20 miles every morning?" Please don't. If I run 20 miles, somebody better be chasing me. And it better not be a goose. This isn't about pretending you're 30 again. It's about waking up and actually enjoying your life. Laughing more. Worrying less. Feeling like yourself again. Because growing older is something we all get to do. Growing bitter. Now that's optional. And one of these habits is so common that almost everyone watching has done it this week. I know I have. So let's see if you can spot yourself before we get to number 5. Because that one catches almost everyone by surprise. Let's jump in. Habit number 1. Let go of trying to win every little argument, all right. Let's start with one that almost everybody has been guilty of. And don't worry, I'm not here to expose anybody. Although, if someone looked at you 5 minutes ago and said, "Turn the TV volume down," and your first response was, "It is down," this one might be for you. Here's the funny thing. Have you noticed how some arguments don't even have a winner? You spend 20 minutes proving your point, only to realize you've lost 20 minutes you'll never get back. Imagine this. A husband and wife are driving to a family dinner. The husband says, "I think we should turn left." The wife says, "No, it's right." 5 minutes later, they're both sitting in the car, completely silent. Nobody's talking, nobody's smiling. The GPS finally speaks up like the only adult in the room. Recalculating. Even the GPS sounds tired. Now tell me honestly, was that argument really worth it? Probably not. And yet we do this all the time. Not because the topic is important, but because our pride whispers, "You can't let this go." Carl Jung believed that one of the greatest signs of maturity is becoming aware of your own ego, not destroying it, not pretending you don't have one, just noticing when it's driving the car. Because the ego has a funny habit. It wants to win. Even when winning makes everyone miserable. Have you ever caught yourself explaining something, then halfway through thinking, "I don't even care about this anymore. I'm just too far in to stop"? Come on, we've all been there. It's like standing in line for 30 minutes, because you've already waited 20. Sometimes walking away is actually the smarter choice. I remember hearing about an older man everyone loved spending time with. Someone asked him, "How do you stay so peaceful?" He smiled and said, "I learned something years ago. When people want to be right, I let them borrow the trophy." I laughed when I heard that. Borrow the trophy, because that's what most arguments are. Tiny invisible trophies nobody remembers tomorrow. Think back to last month. Can you even remember every disagreement you had? Probably not. But you probably remember who made you laugh, who made you feel welcome, who made you feel understood. That's what sticks. Not who won the debate over where to park the car. Here's something I've noticed about people who seem young no matter their age. They laugh at themselves. If they mispronounce a word, they laugh. If they forget where they put their glasses, then spend 10 minutes looking for them, only to realize they're already wearing them. They laugh even harder. By the way, if you've ever done that, welcome to the club. Membership is growing every day. No application required. You know who usually enjoys life more? The person who's comfortable saying, "You know what? You might be right." Those 5 words are surprisingly powerful, not because you're giving up, because you're choosing peace over proving a point. There's a difference, and here's something beautiful that often comes with age. You realize your energy is valuable. You don't have to spend it on every disagreement that knocks on your door. Imagine your peace is like money. Would you hand $20 to every stranger who walked past? Of course not. So why give away your peace that easily? Some conversations simply aren't worth the cost. One woman in her 70s shared something that made me smile. She said, "When I was younger, I had to have the last word. Now my favorite last words are, 'Okay,'" she laughed. "My blood pressure appreciates it." Honestly, that's wisdom. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every misunderstanding needs correcting. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's confidence wearing comfortable shoes. And let's be honest, some people don't actually want a conversation. They want an audience. There's a difference. If someone has already decided they're right before you even speak, you're not having a discussion. You're watching a one-person show. Save yourself the ticket. Walk away smiling. Now, don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean you never stand up for yourself. If something truly matters, speak with kindness, speak with courage, speak with honesty. But don't confuse every tiny disagreement with a life-or-death battle. Ask yourself, will this matter next week? If the answer is no, maybe it's okay to let it float away. Life becomes surprisingly light when you stop carrying every little argument like it's a suitcase. And here's a little challenge for you. The next time someone disagrees with you over something small, instead of jumping in, smile, take a breath, and ask yourself, do I want to be right, or do I want to enjoy the rest of my day? That one question can change everything. Now I'm curious. Who's the funniest person you've ever argued with? Was it your spouse, a friend, a sibling, or maybe yourself while trying to remember where you left the car keys? Tell me in the comments. I promise. Some of those stories are going to make all of us laugh, because the next habit, oh, this one is sneaky. It doesn't start with loud arguments. It starts with one tiny word that slowly becomes a daily habit, and before you know it, it's stealing your happiness one complaint at a time. Let's talk about that next. Habit number 2. Let go of complaining about everything. All right. Let's play a little game. Think about the last person you couldn't wait to see. Now ask yourself, were they always complaining? Probably not. Most of us love being around people who make life feel lighter. Now don't get me wrong, everybody complains sometimes. It's too hot. It's too cold. The coffee is too strong. The coffee is too weak. Then somehow, we drink it anyway. But here's where it becomes a habit. When complaining becomes the first thing that comes out of your mouth every morning. My back hurts. The news is terrible. Nobody has manners anymore. This phone is confusing. By lunchtime, you've already talked yourself into having a bad day. Carl Jung believed that what we focus on shapes our inner world. If your mind spends all day collecting problems, that's all it starts to see. It's like buying a red car. Suddenly you notice red cars everywhere. Were they always there? Yes. You just never paid attention. The same thing happens with joy. Start looking for small good moments, and you'll be surprised how many you find. I heard about an older woman who had a simple rule for every complaint. She had to say 2 good things. One day she said, "My knees hurt," then smiled. "But my grandchildren called me, and I still make the best apple pie in the family." Now that's balance. She wasn't pretending life was perfect. She just refused to let one bad thing cancel 10 good ones. Here's today's challenge. Catch yourself the next time you're about to complain. Pause for just a second. Then ask, is this helping me, or just making my day heavier? Sometimes that tiny pause changes everything. And tell me in the comments. What's one small thing that made you smile today? It could be anything. A good meal, a phone call, your pet doing something ridiculous. Let's remind each other that life still has plenty to smile about. Because the next habit, this one quietly steals more joy than most people ever realize. Habit number 3. Let go of living in the past. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to replay old memories? The good old days. Back when things were different. Now don't get me wrong, looking back is beautiful. That's where your memories live. But living there, that's a different story. Some people spend so much time looking behind them, they miss everything happening right in front of them. Carl Jung believed that life keeps asking us to grow, not just when we're young, but at every stage. That means there's still something new waiting for you. Maybe it's a new hobby, a new friendship, a new place to visit, or maybe just a new way of seeing life. I love what one man said after turning 70. I've stopped saying, "Those were the best years of my life." I'm busy making new best years. Now that's the attitude that keeps you young. Here's a little challenge. This week, do one thing you've never done before. It doesn't have to be big. Try a new recipe. Take a different walking route. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Life loves people who stay curious. Habit number 4. Let go of comparing yourself to other people. Can we all agree on one thing? Comparison is exhausting. Someone has a bigger house. Someone travels more. Someone looks younger. Someone has more money. If you keep looking at everyone else's life, you'll never enjoy your own. Here's the funny part. The people you're comparing yourself to are probably comparing themselves to someone else. It's an endless circle. Carl Jung often reminded us that each person has their own path. You weren't born to become someone else. You were born to become more of yourself. One grandmother said something that made me laugh. My wrinkles tell my story. If someone doesn't like them, they're welcome to stop looking. That's confidence. The happiest people aren't the ones with the perfect life. They're the ones who stop measuring their life against everyone else's. Instead of asking, "Why don't I have what they have?" ask, "What do I already have that's worth being grateful for?" That question changes everything. Habit number 5. Let go of thinking. It's too late. Here we are. The habit I promised would surprise you. How many dreams have been buried under one sentence? I'm too old. Too old to learn. Too old to travel. Too old to dance. Too old to make new friends. Too old to laugh until your stomach hurts. Who decided that? Because life certainly didn't. Some of the happiest people discover their favorite chapter after 60. Not before. After. One man retired and thought life was over. His daughter bought him a camera. At first he didn't even know how to turn it on. A year later, he was traveling around taking pictures of birds and sunsets. He smiled more in that 1 year than he had in the previous 10. Sometimes all it takes is saying yes to something new. Youth isn't an age. It's curiosity. It's hope. It's waking up and believing tomorrow still has something good waiting for you. As long as your heart is open, life still has room to surprise you. Never let a birthday convince you that your story is finished. Sometimes the best chapters come after everyone thinks the book is almost over. So today, we talked about 5 habits that quietly make people feel older than they really are. Not because of wrinkles, not because of grey hair, but because of the weight they carry every single day. Let go of believing your best years are behind you. Let go of trying to win every little argument. Let go of complaining about everything. Let go of living in the past. And most importantly, let go of believing it's too late. Because staying young isn't about looking younger. It's about staying curious, keeping your sense of humor, being kind, learning something new, laughing at yourself when you accidentally wave back at someone who wasn't waving at you. Yes, we've all been there, and if you haven't, your turn is coming. Life is too short to spend it proving, comparing, complaining, or looking backward. Smile more, forgive faster, call the people you love, take the trip, plant the flowers, eat the dessert once in a while. Dance in the kitchen even if your knees complain a little. They'll forgive you. Your heart will thank you. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits do you think is the hardest to let go of? Share it in the comments. You never know. Your story might encourage someone else who's reading. If you enjoyed spending these few minutes together, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more psychology-inspired life lessons that help us grow wiser, happier, and a little younger at heart. Until next time, take care of your mind, protect your peace, keep laughing, and remember, growing older is a privilege. Growing younger at heart, that's a choice you get to make every single day.